Okay, so we need to brush up a little bit on our just words. So here we have, today we're going to talk about digraph, blends, and digraph blends. Okay, so in case you forgot, digraphs are two letters, they're stuck together, and they make one sound. So we have WH, CH, ch, SH, sh, TH, and CK, okay? Notice that there's two letters on each of those, but you only hear one sound because they make a sound together. Other rules regarding digraphs would be WH only comes at the beginning of a word, and CK only comes at the end of a word. How we would mark them is that we underline both letters together with one single line. So if you take a look at the word when, W-H-E-N, WH is our digraph, so it is underlined together. The next word is chin, C-H-I-N, CH is our digraph, so that's underlined together, the C and the H, one line. Ship, S-H-I-P, SH is a digraph, so SH is underlined together with one line. The next word is thud, T-H-U-D, TH is a digraph, so TH is underlined together. Dock, D-O-C-K, the C-K is the digraph in that one, so the C and the K are underlined with one line. And then you have T-H-I-C-K, and the word is thick. In that word, we have two digraphs. TH is a digraph, as is CK. So TH is underlined together with one line, and the same thing for CK. Scrolling down, we're going to move on to blends. A blend is when you have two or more consonants together in a row. So meaning there's not a vowel separating them. And in case you forgot, A, E, I, O, and U are your vowels, and all the other letters are consonants. So if you have any of those other letters where there's two or three, so any more than two together, that makes a blend. The difference with a digraph and a blend is that a digraph, the two letters make one sound, but with a blend, you hear the sound of each consonant in there. If there's two consonants making the blend, you hear both of them. If there's three consonants making the blend, you hear three of them, okay? It depends. So how would we mark those is since we hear the sound separately for the blends, we mark them separately. So the first word is rust. The word rust, you have R-U-S-T. The S-T, because R is a vowel as a consonant, U is a vowel, and then you have a S as a consonant and T is a consonant. But they're not, S-T is not a digraph. So it's a blend, two consonants together. So how you mark it is an underline for S and an underline for T, because when I say the word rust, I hear this and the T, okay? So they're underlined separately. Same thing on the word flip, F-L-I-P. The F and the L are both underlined separately because F is a consonant, L is a consonant, but then you have a vowel and another consonant. So there's two consonants together, but they're not one of the five digraphs that we have. So we hear the F and the L in flip, so they have two separate lines. That's the same for soft. The F and the T are the blend, and they are each underlined separately. With mask, it's the S and the K, and with the word crib, it's the C and the R, okay? So with a digraph, both letters are underlined with one line because it's one sound. With blends, each sound that you hear from each letter has to have a different separate line. So then we're gonna scroll a little bit down. Okay, so these are our digraph blends, and they're exactly what they sound like. It is a digraph blended with another consonant. So you have one of your five digraphs that we learned about, but yet you have another consonant, meaning a letter that is not A, E, I, O, or U, connected next to it, okay? So the first one is shred. And if you take a look, it says, when we mark these, we mark the digraph the same way we normally would, with both letters being underlined with one line, and we mark the blend the same way we would, with a separate line per letter. So the first word is shred. The sh, the sh makes a sh, it's a digraph, so that gets underlined together, the s and the h. But when we're saying the word, we hear sh, r, ed. So we still hear the r separately. So that's what makes it a digraph blend. We have the sh digraph, but we hear another consonant, which is the r, blending in. So the r would in fact have its own underline. Next word is bunch. So we have the n, and that's now blending into the digraph ch. So ch has one line because it's a digraph, but the n has its own line because it's the blend. We hear the n, ch. And if you'll notice, if you take a look, this blend is at the beginning and this blend is at the end. Sometimes, you know, the blends could come in the beginning or the end. They could be anywhere. The one thing I will say about the next word, it's throb. So you have th is your digraph there, right? And then r is the blend. That's what makes it a digraph blend. So the th is underlined together and the r is underlined on its own. Next word is pinch. So we have the n, that's part of the blend, and then ch, that's a digraph. So the n is underlined with its own line, but the ch shares one. Our last word over here is the word lunch. Again, it's an n-ch blend at the end. The n, you hear it, and then the ch. So if it's a digraph and there's 5 of them, they don't change. It's those same 5. Let's scroll back up. Tick, 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 tick. Here's our 5 digraphs: WH, CH, SH, TH, and CK. And they're written like this for a reason. It's the way you should remember them, is because WH is first because it only comes at the beginning of words, right? And then we also have CK at the end because that only comes at the end of the word. The rest of these can come anywhere. That's why they're kind of in the middle. So these 5, if you find them in a word, it's one line to mark them. It's one line because they're making one sound. And with blends, it's separate lines under each consonant that you hear. And then with a digraph blend, you underline your digraph the same way with one line under the digraph and then separate lines for the other consonants because you hear their sounds. And if you remember, there are beginning blends, which mean they come at the beginning of a word. And there's ending blends, which means they come at the end of the word. But there's only if the blend is at the beginning, it's a beginning blend. It has to have an R, an L, or an S. They usually are always an R or an L or an S. So if it's a beginning blend, here's a beginning blend. The word flip, it has an L. It's an L blend. Another beginning one is crib. It has an R in it. It's an R blend. Okay? So that's something to remember because those beginning blends usually have an R or L or an S in there. Those are our 3 beginning blend sounds that you're usually gonna look for. And that's important to remember because as we start dissecting bigger words and breaking up words into pieces, that's gonna clue you in as to how words should be spelled, okay? So hopefully this refreshes your memory and you remember because it's been a while. And I will talk to you guys all soon.